Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt at the motorcycle racing TV show Team Chicago Challenge. My email is teamdan45@gmail.com. My website is teamchicago.tv. Well, we're celebrating 1,800 TV shows, going all the way back to 1986 is when I got started, but I found out about public access television in 1983 when Bill Sparks and I promoted the Amateur National Lambs Farm ice race. Then we came back in 84, came back in 85, and Reno Minorini, who was an access producer in Highwood, he came out and shot our show. So that's how I was exposed to public access television. Chicago finally got access television in 1986, and I was the first producer to come in off the street. So now we are 1,800 shows. I'm going to go back. Well, show number 1701, I went to Klairmont Kollection. That was a good show, but it's a sad story, but I'm going to do that first, and then we're going to look at some of the action stuff that I've been involved with, some of the other educational stuff. So I'm going to try to show in the next two shows some of the highlights from going back to 2023, 24, 25, and here we are in 2026. So I hope you enjoy this show. Celebrate 1,800 TV shows. Don't forget my email, teamdan45@gmail. Show number 1701, I went to the Klairmont Kollection Automobile Museum in Chicago. Now, I got involved with this museum when we were looking for a location to put Bill Wilt's war bike. Bill Wilt, my friend that did Motorsports Unlimited, did a number of shows with the original owner of this museum, Larry Klairmont. Rich Sakowski, who also did automotive shows, did a good number of TV shows at the Klairmont Kollection. We're looking at a 57 Golden Hawk Studebaker, the fastest production car made in 1957. Well, let's go to a clip from my show, show number 1701. And now we're looking at one of the Batmobiles that was based on the TV show. The TV show ran for 3 seasons and they did 120 episodes. We spot this mannequin here of Batman, and it even looks like the star who was Adam West. This is a great looking replica. I believe they made a good number of these Batmobile replicas. This could have been one from the movie, but there was a good number of them that were built. But this is the first time I've ever seen the Bat Cycle, and this is from the movie that they made in 1966 called Batman. It's based on a Yamaha 250 Catalina with a sidecar, and in the sidecar is a little go-kart, mini go-kart. And if you watch the pickers, there was a collector, I believe, of automobiles, and he had one of these Robin go-karts, and he wanted a pretty penny for that. I don't think they bought it. So seeing this Bat Cycle with the go-kart is a very valuable piece from the 1960s. Batman, the TV series, Batman, the movie. Sadly, when I was invited back to the museum on September 18th, 2024, for the MECUM auction, I looked at some of these priceless automobiles. We are now looking at the Rolls-Royce Honduran mahogany wooden boat tail vehicle, and this beautiful automobile went for $192,500 in the auction. Sadly, everything in the auction was sold, and I was invited in to look at the cars that I thought were the most valuable, and this was one of them. It seemed that the folks that ran the museum decided to go in a different direction with the Klairmont Foundation. Next to this car, we're seeing a 8 Super Sport Rickenbacker straight 8 coupe. Now they only made 17 of these. Eddie Rickenbacker was a World War I ace. He shot down 19 German aircraft, I recall. He also promoted the Indianapolis 500 automobile race. This 8 Super Sport was capable of cruising at 100 miles per hour, and it had brakes, hydraulic brakes on all 4 wheels. This 8 Super Sport Coupe went at auction for $440,000. I had a chance to talk to Matt Avery of MECUM Auction. He's to fill us in some of the history and the reason for this auction.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt Avery, one of the on-air hosts for MECUM Auctions, hosting the MECUM in the Morning as well as On the Move with Matt Avery. And this weekend we are at the Klairmont Collection near downtown Chicago for Larry's Legacy Auction. It's going to be an exciting couple days ahead.
So, do you know why they're selling everything here? Do you have the backstory?
Yeah, so Larry Klairmont was a very active automotive enthusiast here in the Chicagoland area, and over the last number of years amassed a very unique treasure trove of collector cars, trucks, motorcycles, and thousands of pieces of road art. And so he had opened it as a museum under the Klairmont Collection, and so now the foundation just is going to take a different direction with it. So today is actually the final day that's available for the public to see before it all sells tomorrow. This weekend, the auction days, Saturday and Sunday, will only be limited to bidders just because of the space. But we've had an incredible opportunity to be able to show the people here in this area what it looked like before it all sells.
No, that's great, because I've done a show here before, and I was involved with a couple other activities with the Klairmont people, and I'm just shocked because it's such a great collection of cars, motorcycles, Vespas. I'm going to see about the Vespas too. Maybe I could pick up a Vespa.
Yeah, there's a lot of two-wheeled stuff here, and you know, the thing that I'm struck by is the diversity from a collecting standpoint. You know, Larry really had one of the most unique collections that I've ever seen. There's custom cars, there's pre-war classics, there's muscle, there's micro cars, and above us there's even some airplanes. So I think he really sought out the things that brought him joy. You know, it wasn't just one particular make, wasn't one particular model. It was really whatever happened to strike his fancy.
Well, he was a United States Marine, and he fought in World War II. And from what I understand, he started out in the dry cleaning business, and that worked his way into real estate. And this used to be a printing press here.
Right. Yeah, and it's a large facility. It's just the displays have been phenomenal. Just how it was laid out, the illumination behind it, and then just a lot of the curation about how the vehicles were presented. It was very unique.
Right. No, it was a great place, and I'm dearly going to miss it. So. Thank you, Matt. And now we're looking at the 1937 Rolls-Royce Aero Coupe. This was a custom body built on the Rolls-Royce chassis, built by a group in Wisconsin. This bold and sexy automobile, powerful looking automobile, went for $352,000. I should point out that the Batcycle went for $35,750, and the Batmobile from the TV show went for $220,000. All in all, everything in the collection sold and took in $16 million. And then in 2024, I was invited by the good folks at MCC for the BMW Ticket to Ride. I got to ride a real great sport bike. now I'm on the S1000RR. We are exiting Route 83 at Roosevelt Road. We're running a good clip. I get to see how this race bike, street legal race bike, handles on this nice sweeping right-hander, part of the cloverleaf here at Roosevelt Road. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit, but let me take a look at this bike. It's an inline 4-cylinder. The bore is 3.15 inches. The stroke is 1.96, so it's a very short stroke engine. 999 cc's, 205 horsepower at 1300 RPM. The structure of this engine is similar to the Yamaha R6 because the transmission is vertically stacked. To keep the engine short, it's got 13-to-1 compression ratio. It's a very lovely street legal race bike. Anita's riding at 1800 horizontal twin as we pass these cars and open it up on Roosevelt Road. I'm tucking in a little bit. This bike feels like a race bike. Clip-ons, rear sets. I feel very comfortable, very much at home. Another bike goes past us, not part of our group. And now we're exiting at County Line Road. Get to go through these twisties on the exit ramp at a good clip. And lucky for us again, we're catching the green light. Swing it wide. It's almost a continuous right-hand corner, nice tight swing here. We pick up the speed again. Well, I would love to take this bike on a racetrack, put a good set of tires on it, and had the opportunity to open it up. The one thing I learned today is BMW offers a great amount of variety, different bikes. And this bike here, the S1000RR, is the same bike that they race in the World Superbike across Europe and the world, and Moto USA. Check them out at Road America. Anita's riding that big 1800 touring bike, twin cylinder, horizontal engine. I am having a great time as we come to the stop sign here. Anita looks back to see if everybody's in line. The weather is absolutely perfect. We come to this hard left turn. Get to see how this bike goes through the corners. I am having a great time. Thanks to the crew from BMW, I got to ride some great bikes, and also the crew from MCC. Also in 2024, I made it to the Park Ridge Auto Show. I was invited to bring my Triumph. I got to see some bold and sexy cars, but most importantly, I got to see this very special Mustang with a 260 V8 engine, but it is really a unique automobile right here in Park Ridge, Illinois. One, maybe 11 or 12 million stories about the Ford Mustang. This one right here in front of me was the first one ever sold in the United States of America on April 15th, 1964. And lucky for me, I had the opportunity to talk to the owner and her husband. So we're going to be talking to Gail and Tom, and they're going to tell us about this wonderful car.
My name is Gail Wise. I'm the original owner of the first Mustang sold in the USA. I was 22 years old when I graduated from Chicago Teachers College, and I needed transportation to get to my new teaching job in the suburbs. So Mom, Dad, and I went looking for a new car for me. And I told the salesman at Johnson Ford, I want a convertible. And he said, I have none on the floor, but come in the back room with me. I have something special to show you. And in the back room, under the tarp, was a skylight blue Mustang. And it was a convertible, and I fell in love. It had bucket seats and the transmission on the floor. And it went zoom, zoom. So I was all excited. And the salesman said, I'm really not supposed to sell it tonight because the Mustang was going to be unveiled on Friday, April 17th, 1964 at the New York World's Fair. And this was Wednesday, April 15th, 1964. But he did sell it to me for $3,450. And when I drove it out of the showroom, I realized what I had bought. Everybody was waving at me and asking me to slow down so they could see this car, so I felt like a movie star. But it wasn't me, it was the car. And when I drove it to school the next day, all these 7th and 8th grade boys were just drooling over the car.
So you went to Chicago's Teachers County. That's what used to be on Bryn Mawr Avenue, correct?
Yes,
yes. Which is now Northeastern
University. Right, yes, yes. I'm like the second graduating
So where did you
class out
live
of there.
then?
I lived in Chicago near Pulaski and Armitage.
Oh, okay.
That's where I grew up.
Right,
yes,
right,
yes.
right.
I went to Calvin Park High School.
Calvin, well,
yeah.
My story in Calvin Park High School, when I drove the coffee truck, and I would go by Calvin Park on Costner Avenue, they had some of the prettiest girls on the northwest side of Chicago went to Calvin Park High School. Because my first stop on the coffee truck was Helene Curtis, which was at Costner and North Avenue. So when I left Jorgensen's, I'd go by Calvin Park every day.
Oh, yes, you did.
Okay, so tell me about your involvement with the car.
Well, my wife says that if I married her, she would give me the car.
Oh, really? Or she let you drive it?
Let me drive it, yeah.
So I see in your literature that you restored it back in...
It was painted in '06, and most of the body, well, obviously the body work was done at that time, but it needed the new top and the new interior,
right.
Rewired, the chrome, and the little accoutrements, and it was finished in about 2008.
Okay. So you guys, do you still get to drive it though? I mean, you drive it once in a while,
Yeah,
or
we drive
nice
it
weather?
drive it locally, not too far.
Right. So you live in Park Ridge here?
Yes,
Yes.
live in Park Ridge.
So has Ford been good to you?
Yes, Ford's been good to us, yes.
Right, right.
If they decide they want to show our car at some special occasion, they'll call us up and they'll haul the car for us, and they'll treat us good, yes.
That's great.
We've been to, like, the 10 billionth Mustang coming off the line was a big affair. And
So you've been to Detroit too?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
we've been to Detroit several times, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
This is one in a million stories.
Oh, yes, it is, yes. The car is priceless, and didn't realize what I bought 60 years ago, but
Right.
it's fun to tell the story.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. That is a great story. All right, thank you guys.
Okay, have a good one.
Thank you, Gail and Tom. And I should point out that when I was driving by Calvin Park High School, I was only a junior in high school driving a night route for Jorgensen's. Lucky for me, at 17 years old, I got probably one of the greatest jobs around, driving the coffee truck, and Helene Curtis was my first stop at Costner and North Avenue. This is such a lovely Mustang and such a great story. I'm happy I could report on it. Also in 2024, I went to Peoria, and I'm going to show you a couple of the races from this world-famous race grounds. As we wait for the start, the 450 final. Jumping off the line, looks like 202. That is Ivy. He's on that Yamaha, but right with him is that number 1N, the amateur national champ from last year. Walker Porter is running in second place as they head into turn 3, 4, and 5. Coming down the front straightaway one more time. It is 202 Ivy still up front on the Yamaha. Right there is Walker Porter, national number 1. Trying to find a way by. I think he got it on the inside. Got a little more traction. He heads to the jump. Into turn 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway this time. It is Walker Porter up front on the Husqvarna. 202 is Ivy on the Yamaha. 160 is Fells on the KTM. 22 is Grove with the KTM. Schmitt is running in 5th place, number 13. They come by one more time. The number 1N. He won the championship, national championship. That's why he's got the number 1N last year with the AMA. They go through turn 3, 4, and 5 down the front straightaway. One more time, it's Walker Porter on the Husqvarna, Ivy on the Yamaha, Fells on the KTM, Grove on the KTM, Schmitt on the Yamaha. Kay Walters is running in 6th place. This time by, it is still the number 1 bike. That is Walker Porter riding a Husqvarna, looking great, looking smooth, looking like the national champ that he is. Ivy second, third is Fells, Grove is 4th. White flag, stretching his lead is Walker Porter one more time. Ivy second, Fells is 3rd, Grove is 4th. Schmittdale is 5th, number 13. Catching the checkered flag, winning 450 Advance Group. This is at the Peoria Race Grounds, the famous Peoria National Championship track. The Peoria Motorcycle Club has got a deep history going back to the early 1930s. Now we're watching the vintage class. It is Heat on the Rotex taking the early lead. Right with him is Charlie Roberts on that Voltaco Astro. As we see Jackson on that twin Honda running in 4th place. Down the front straightaway, making the move down on the inside. Looks like Charlie Roberts with that 250 Voltaco taking the lead. Pete is second. Brian Hopper now running 3rd place on the Kawasaki. To point out that Charlie Roberts was involved with organizing the Class of 79, a fundraising group that helps injured dirt track riders. Charlie's also was instrumental in putting together the Voltaco Astro Racing Series. In fact, last week or a couple of weeks ago at Galesburg, Charlie Roberts on that Voltaco Astro took 2nd place to Ronnie Jones. So the Voltaco Racing Series is going great. Charlie Roberts was one of the organizers. As we see, is beautiful. It's either a 250 or a 325 Voltaco Astro. A perfect bike made for flat track racing. Back in the 1970s, dominated most of the short tracks in the USA. Going on to pick up the win. It is Charlie Roberts on the Voltaco. Heat was second on the Rotex. Brian Hopper on the Kawasaki was 3rd. And Jackson on the Honda finished in 4th place. And now we're looking at the Invitational Pro-Am class. These are people that have professional racing license, running 450s. Jumping up front, it looks like Montgomery on the Husqvarnas up front. Right there is Walker Porter, number 1N, running in second place. He's also on a Husqvarna. Huff 65P is running in third place on the KTM. Down the front straightaway one more time is still Montgomery up front. But in the end, Pro-Am class at Peoria Motorcycle Club grounds, it was Walker Porter went on to pick up the win. Second place went to Montgomery on the Husqvarna. Third place went to Huff on the KTM. Ducker on the KTM was Ford, Cox, and Reagan. And that's how they finished in the Pro-Am class. Well, I hope you enjoy the celebration of 1,800 TV shows. To contact me, and I love to hear from my audience, is teamdan45@gmail.com. And remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action, Dan Schmitt Politics, to learn what makes America great. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum. They're in Winamac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson on Indiana Highway 39. But give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip, a great collection of motorcycles, and you can pick up your Harley Davidsons and Yamahas at Kirstein Cycle. If you want to pick up your copy of the Team Chicago History Package, go to Rich's Yamaha in Lockport, Illinois, but give them a call first at 815-838-8130. Their website is richesyamaha.com. And if you want to know everything there is to know about motorcycles, there's nothing like going to a swap meet. There's a few dates coming up. Princeton, Illinois. Monroe, Michigan. Morris, Illinois. And Woodstock, Illinois. Remember, walneckswap.com, walneckswap.com.